Hi and welcome to another science quiz. My last science quiz was hugely popular, so I've compiled another 100 interesting questions for you science lovers. And remember, it's not just about the ones that you get correct. For those questions you get wrong, I hope you learn something new. So if you're ready, let's begin. Which form of matter has the lowest amount of energy? A solid, gas or liquid? The correct one here is a solid. What is the main storage carbohydrate in plants called? Is it cellulose, starch or glycogen? The correct one is starch. Which shape has the smallest surface area for a given volume? Is that a sphere, cube or cylinder? The answer is sphere. How does adding soap affect the surface tension of water? It increases it, there's no effect, or it decreases it. The answer is, it decreases it. According to general relativity, where gravity is stronger, time passes more slowly, more quickly, or in reverse. The correct one here is more slowly. What angle produces the maximum range of a projectile? 45, 55 or 65 degrees? The answer is 45 degrees. Which has the highest electrical conductivity of all metals? Is that zinc, gold or silver? And the highest is silver. What colour flame does copper sulfate produce when burned? Is it green, white or red? The answer is green. At which of these places would water have the highest boiling temperature? At sea level or at the top of Everest? And it's all to do with pressure. The answer is at sea level. What is dry ice made of? Is it made from carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide or potassium hydroxide? And it's made from carbon dioxide. In which of these mediums does sound travel the fastest? In air, water or in a vacuum? And the correct answer is water. In the double slit experiment, light behaves like which? Particles only, waves only, or both particles and waves? And the answer is both particles and waves. Does the moon rotate on its axis? Yes or no? And the answer, yes it does. Which side of a spoon reflects your image upside down? The front or the back? And if you've got a spoon handy, go give it a try. The correct answer is the front. When a compressed spring releases its energy, it's converting which? Kinetic to potential, potential to kinetic, or electrical to mechanical energy? The answer, potential to kinetic energy. Can light bend around corners? Do you think the answer's yes or no? And if you're enjoying the quiz so far, please give it a thumbs up. And it's called diffraction, and the answer is yes. What happens if you mix red, green and blue light equally? A purple light, white light or brown light is produced. And when mixed equally, they produce a white light. Graphite is a crystalline form of which element? Is it silicon, calcium or carbon? The answer is carbon. Which of the following is not a conservative force? A spring, gravitational, or frictional force? The correct choice here is frictional force. Which type of acid is present in vinegar? Is that acetic, nitric, or formic acid? The correct one here, acetic acid. Scurvy is a disease caused by an extreme deficiency of which vitamin? Is that K, A, or C? And that is vitamin C. Can force be applied without contact between two objects? Do you think the answer is yes or no? And the correct answer is yes. What is measured in becquerels? Is that wind speed, radioactivity, or acceleration? The correct one is radioactivity. What type of cloud produces hail, thunder, and lightning? Is that cirrus, cumulonimbus, or stratus? The correct one there is cumulonimbus. How long is a typical lunar cycle from one new moon to the next? 29.5, 36, or 42.5 days? And on average, it's 29.5 days. What is the process called when a crab sheds its shell? Is that metamorphosis, molting, or cracking? And it is molting. Jet lag is a result of disruptions in what? The respiratory cycle, circadian rhythm, or digestive cycle? And the answer is circadian rhythm. What are enzymes primarily made of? Are they made from lipids, proteins, or carbohydrates? And they are proteins. Chloroplasts are mostly found in which part of a plant? In the roots, stems, or leaves? The correct choice here is leaves. What type of rock is chalk? Is it sedimentary, igneous, or metamorphic? And the correct answer, it's sedimentary rock. What type of radiation is used in medical X-rays? Is that alpha, beta, or electromagnetic radiation? The correct answer, electromagnetic radiation. The reaction between an acid and a base typically produces which? A stronger acid, water and a salt, or a stronger base? The answer, water and a salt. Whose law explains why it's harder to stop a heavier object moving at the same speed as a lighter object? Is that Newton's, Kepler's, or Hubble's? And that is one of Newton's laws. What is the primary role of drone bees in the hive? Is it to gather nectar, to make honey, or to mate with the queen? And their role is to mate with the queen. How many classical fundamental states of matter are there? Are there 3, 4, or 8? And do you know what they are? The correct answer is 4. What is the opposite to centrifugal force? Is it gravitational, centripetal, or magnetic force? And the correct answer is centripetal or centripetal for my American viewers. Which of these is the smallest? An atom, proton, or quark? And the smallest there is the quark. What is most commonly used in radiation shielding material? Is it gold, lead or silver? And the answer is lead. Gyroscopes are commonly used in which of these? Televisions, smartphones or microwave ovens? And they are used for things like screen rotate in smartphones. Name the process by which an atom or molecule acquires a positive or negative charge by gaining or losing electrons. Is that fusion, refraction or ionization? And the answer is ionization. How many dimensions did Einstein say there are? 2, 3 or 4? And do you know what they are? The correct answer is 4. Alfred Nobel's most famous invention was which? Dynamite, the telegraph or the sewing machine? And he invented dynamite. What is another name for a leukocyte? Is that a red blood cell, white blood cell or a platelet? And that is a white blood cell. What does the C stand for in PVC? Is it chloride, carbide or calcium? And the answer is polyvinyl chloride. What is Olympus Mons? Is that a moon, a star or a volcano? And that is a giant volcano on Mars. Which best describes a helix shape? A corkscrew, a sphere or a cube? And the correct answer, a corkscrew. What is the average acceleration of gravity at the Earth's surface? Is it 9.8, 19.8 or 29.8 meters per second squared? And it is 9.8 meters per second squared. Okay, does antimatter exist? Do you think the answer is yes or no? And the correct answer, yes it does. The shape of DNA is described as which? A single, double or triple helix? And it is a double helix. How does pasteurization kill some microbes? Is it by freezing, heating or adding acids? And the correct answer is by heating. What is necessary for rust to form on iron? Hydrogen and water, oxygen and water or nitrogen and water? The correct combination here, oxygen and water. Who discovered radioactivity? Was it Einstein, Fleming or Becquerel? And this is to see if you were paying attention earlier. The correct answer is Henri Becquerel. What is a common name for nitrous oxide? Is it laughing gas, baking soda or liquid nitrogen? And it's also known as laughing gas. Why does oil float on water? Is it because of surface tension, it's less dense or magnetic force? And the answer, because it's less dense. What gas or gases are produced by electrolysis of water? Only hydrogen, only oxygen, or both hydrogen and oxygen? The correct one, both hydrogen and oxygen. Which of these metals is not ferromagnetic? Iron, nickel, or copper? And the one that's not is copper. Is the moon slowly moving away from Earth? Do you think the answer is yes or no? And the answer? Yes, it is. Which of these is easier to compress? Air or water? And the one that takes less pressure to compress is air. What has the largest eye of any living land animal? Is that the giraffe, elephant, or ostrich? The answer is ostrich. Okay, so what was Pangaea? Was it a massive ocean, a supercontinent, or an ancient civilization? And the answer, a supercontinent. The farad is a unit of which? Is it pressure, electrical capacitance, or force? And it's a unit of electrical capacitance. Okay, so what is amber? Is it crystallized honey, volcanic glass, or fossilized tree resin? And it is fossilized tree resin. Which carat gold is the softest? Is it 14, 18, or 24? And the correct one there is 24 carat. Dew is a form of which? Is it precipitation, condensation, or transpiration? And it's a form of condensation. What type of scan is a CT scan? Is it a type of X-ray, ultrasound, or magnetic resonance? And it is a type of X-ray. Which of these was invented first? The telescope, telegraph, or phonograph? And the oldest there is the telescope. Okay, insects breathe through structures called which? Lungs, spiracles, or gills? And they breathe through spiracles. The resistance of an object to any change in its state of motion is which? Friction, inertia, or gravity? And that is inertia. What is it called when a wave changes direction when it enters a different medium? Is that refraction, reflection, or diffraction? And that is refraction. What is at the centre of the Milky Way galaxy? Is it a hypergiant star, a supermassive black hole, or a quasar? And the answer, a supermassive black hole. What type of organism is yeast? Is it a bacteria, fungus, or algae? And it is a fungus. Which planet in our solar system has the most volcanoes? Is that Earth, Venus, or Mars? And the one with the most is Venus. Which chemical compound is commonly known as saltpeter? Is that potassium nitrate, sodium bicarbonate, or calcium carbonate? And that is potassium nitrate. Which of these is not a unit for pressure? Torr, Pascal, or Candela? And the one here that's not is Candela. Rubbing a balloon on your hair makes it stick due to which? Magnetic attraction, static electricity, or gravity? And the correct answer is, of course, static electricity. Estivation is similar to hibernation, but occurs in the winter, in dry hot periods, or at high altitudes. And the correct answer, in dry hot periods. Which type of rock are fossils most commonly found in? Sedimentary, igneous, or metamorphic? The answer is sedimentary. Which of these is a noble gas? Hydrogen, oxygen, or helium? The correct one here is helium. How many moons does Mars have? Does it have none, one, or two? The answer, it has 2 moons. Aqua Regia is known for its ability to dissolve which of these? Glass, gold, or silver? And it means royal water because it dissolves gold. What does the M stand for in E equals mc squared? Is it momentum, mass, or molecule? The answer is mass. What animal was used by Ivan Pavlov to demonstrate classical conditioning? Did he use dogs, cats, or parrots? And the answer is dogs. What is the hardest naturally occurring substance on Earth? Is it tungsten, diamond, or chromium? The answer, diamond. On which islands did Charles Darwin make observations that significantly contributed to his theory of natural selection? The Canary, Galapagos, or Falkland Islands? And it was on the Galapagos Islands. Bacteria that can live without oxygen are termed which? Aerobic, anaerobic, or phototrophic? The answer is anaerobic. Keratin is a key component of which of these? Blood cells, bones, or hair and nails? The answer is hair and nails. Which of these elements has the lowest boiling point? Helium, tungsten, or mercury? And the lowest boiling point belongs to helium. What percentage by volume does water expand when it freezes? 9, 15, or 18%? The correct one there is 9%. Which of these mammals is born with their eyes closed and their eyelids fused together? Is that goats, rabbits, or horses? And the answer is rabbits. Which nerve carries signals between your brain, heart, and digestive system? Is it the radial, median, or vagus nerve? And the answer, the vagus nerve. Whose law states the relationship between voltage, current, and resistance in an electrical circuit? Is that Ohm's, Boyle's, or Newton's law? And that is Ohm's law. What is the highest level in Maslow's hierarchy of needs? Is it self-actualization, physiological, or safety? And it is self-actualization. What era is known as the Age of Reptiles? Is it the Mesozoic, Cenozoic, or Precambrian era? And the answer is the Mesozoic era. How long is 1 fathom in feet? Is it 3, 6, or 12 feet? And it is 6 feet. What is heavy water primarily used for? Is it for drinking, nuclear reactions, or cleaning? And the answer is nuclear reactions. What do you call a plant that lives for more than 2 years? Is that annual, biennial, or perennial? And that is perennial. If a gas expands in a vacuum, what happens to its temperature? It increases, it decreases, or it remains unchanged. And in a vacuum, it remains unchanged. Which scientist first proposed the modern Big Bang Theory? Was that Einstein, Hawking, or Lemaitre? And that was Lemaitre. Which planet in our solar system has the highest average surface temperature? Is that Venus, Mercury, or Mars? And that is Venus. Bananas are very slightly radioactive because they contain which? Potassium, radium, or uranium? And don't worry, it's only a very tiny amount of potassium. Okay, how did you do? If you want, put your score in the comments down below, share this video with your friends and see if they can beat your score. Thank you for watching, I'll see you on the next one.